Hello, my name is Donnie Roberts, and I'm going to do a presentation on the case analysis that I did on the case of James Fitl versus Mark Strek. Now, Mark Strek was a baseball card collector and seller who sold baseball cards at card shows in the area of San Francisco. And in 1995, at a card show, James Fitl purchased a Mickey Mantle card from Strek. Now, when the card was purchased, Fitl had purchased a card for $17,750, and Strek would deliver the card to Omaha, Nebraska, where Fitl lived. And Fitl would put the card away and store it in a safety deposit box and put it away for a long time. And then 2 years later, would go and send the card off to two professional grading services and to check the worth and see how much the cards are worth now and to make a possible profit off of them. And both grading services would respond back saying that the card could not be graded because it had been altered. And when Fitl had found this news, he had reached back out to Strek demanding a refund, and Strek would not give a refund to him because he had waited so long to reach back out and ask for a refund, which is beyond a normal grace period, because he did wait 2 years to come back and say that there was a defect in the product that he had bought. But when Fitl found out that he couldn't get his money back, he had filed a lawsuit for seeking damages, and the court awarded Fitl his money back and all the court and legal fees that he had had. Now, you can easily side with Fitl in this case. It does seem very one-sided to me, but you can make a case for both sides. The main piece of fact in this case that you need to know is that the card was 100% altered, and Fitl 100% bought an altered card for a premium price, which is not right in any way, and Fitl 100% needed his money back because that is a lot of money to not get anything back in return. But the card was 100% altered. They had two professional grading services both say that the card had been altered and trimmed. On the side of Fitl, they also brought in a guy from PSA, one of the professional grading services, who had been grading cards for 27 years, and he had said he 100% could tell that the card had been 100% altered and was no longer worth anything. Now, in court, Fitl appeared with counsel and offered the evidence. Strek, on the other hand, was represented by counsel but had no evidence defending himself in selling a false card. Now, you would think when you sell cards of such a premium price, you would have receipts and you would have ways to back yourself up when things like this come about, because you're dealing with so much money and such big products that demand validation and certifications of being legit or not, because these cards are not worth it or are worth a lot of money depending on if they're legit or not. So you would have think that him buying this card from a previous dealer, that he would have sent it off and got the receipt of this card that I'm selling is 100% fact a good card and legit. And if he did or didn't, I do not know. He didn't present any kind of evidence saying that he did. And if he didn't, that really just tells you what kind of seller he is when it comes to dealing with these kinds of products. Now, the only side of defense you can make for Strek is that the timeliness of the claim that Fitl had said the card was false. Now, claiming that the card was false in 2 years is a pretty good, long time, and it is said that the notification of the defects in products must be told in a satisfactory and given within a reasonable amount of time. Now, a reasonable amount of time isn't a true set time. It's not a day, a month, a year. That's not a time frame. So the judge and the jury have to really draw that line of what is a reasonable time frame. Now, it's hard to say 2 years. I feel like if you were purchasing a product that was of such value and so much money, you would put in the legwork. You go make sure that, hey, when I purchase this card, I'm not going to give you all the money, or I want to make sure before I purchase this card that this is 100% legit, and making sure that this is, for a fact what you're buying. And the fact that Fitl didn't put any legwork into ensuring that he purchased a legit product is a very big mess up on his behalf when it comes to dealing with products like this. I wouldn't say that 2 years is beyond a reasonable amount of time. I do feel like that their justice was served, saying that Fitl had a right in asking for a refund within the 2 years. But you can argue that 2 years is a long time to ask for a refund. Now, the argument for Fitl is a lot bigger, and there's a lot more volume. You 100% can tell that the card is fake. You can 100% argue that Strek had no evidence stating that he sold Fitl a legit card. Therefore, without that alone says that Strek had altered the card and was trying to sell it to Fitl to make money off of him in a very unethical way. The fact that Fitl had evidence against Strek is a big reason why that Fitl won this whole entire case. Now, the impact that it had on the industry, probably in the trading card industry for sure, is keeping your receipts when it comes to dealing with products of this kind of price. It's good to have the backup of knowing that the stuff that you're selling is 100% real and you have the certifications stating that these products are real. Having the evidence to ever back up and defend yourself when a customer may claim that you had falsely sold a product to them, advertising one and it being a whole nother. Having that evidence and those receipts saying that no, that these products that I'm selling you is in fact what I'm telling you it is something that can go a long way. I hope that you enjoyed this presentation of my case analysis, and have a good day.